Welcome to Idaho Today. I'm Carly Cash, filling in for Melissa Paul. At CapEd Credit Union, it's more than banking, it's making a difference. Today, we're talking with Brenna Greenwood and Dan Sullivan about how the Your Money Making Sense series is helping our wallets. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
I think everyone's a little bit concerned about, just being a little more frugal these days. And so this is great. Brenna, can you tell us a little bit about the Your Money Making Sense series and how it came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So I get to go out and I get to teach in the community all the time. I spend a lot of time in like K through 12 schools and things like that. And I started noticing this pattern where I would go out and I would teach the kids and the adults in the room would go, oh my gosh, I just learned something new. I'd never heard that before. And I started kind of digging into some research, and we're finding that adults have just as many questions about managing their money well and reaching their goals as young people do. And I started looking at, well, where can they go get the information, right?
Right.
And you can go to the internet, but like sometimes your financial institution is a really great entity to trust when you're looking for this information. So we decided to put together a series of different classes and educational workshops that would help people know things about starting your investment journey, buying a home.
All crucial things that they don't teach in schools.
Exactly.
But I love that you are making it, personal, and you can talk to someone face to face. So tell us about these workshops. When are they? Tell us a little bit more about those.
Yeah, we're going to start. The first workshop is going to be on June 3rd. All of them are going to be at our office on Stratford in Meridian in the evenings. And the first workshop is going to be on home buying, which is Dan's realm of expertise. And we'll have 2 in June and then 1 per month after that through November. And they're all going to be on different topics.
Love that. Okay, so Dan, tackling purchasing a home. What are some of the big questions that people have?
Well, the biggest question right now, I think, is how do you do it? And what are all the steps? So we're going to go through, and this is informational, this is not sales pitch, this is how do you buy a home? How do you prepare to buy a home? What things do you need to take into consideration as far as income and credit and jobs, and then how to buy a home, what to look for, what neighborhood do you want to live in? Are you ready to buy a home?
Sure.
And then once you make that decision, who do you employ as, we need to, let's bring a realtor in and talk about how, how we're going to employ a realtor. How do you get a mortgage? What things are we looking for? And there's really only credit capacity and collateral. So we're only looking at those 3 things. But what does that mean? And then we want to eventually, we want to end with how do you maintain successful home ownership? And we want to make sure that if somebody buys a home, they live there a long time and it's very successful.
Sure.
And so what does that mean? And so it's those items that we want to touch on.
So I'm curious, what are some of the most common questions people have, or what are some areas that they're just kind of like, gosh, I didn't know that?
Yeah.
Well, in home buying, a lot of times it's what is a credit score, and how does that affect how does that affect it, and what things affect my credit score, and so we get a lot of questions around that.
Yeah, exactly. What about just like basic money managing things? Do you have any quick tips?
Absolutely. I think that when you're specifically about buying a home, kind of looking at the budget as a whole and saying, like, will this fit in my budget? Do I have enough in reserve just in case something happens with the home or something happens with my job? In that planning stage before you take the plunge, I think is a really wise thing to do. And sometimes we just look at what our payment's going to be and say, well, that looks good.
Right.
And there's a lot of other things to consider anytime you're going to make a big financial decision. So all things we're hoping to help cover and get people thinking about as we go through the series.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tell us, where can people find out more information about the Your Money Making Sense program?
Yeah, so we're launching it. It's happening. It's coming up. Our website is capedcu.com/yourmoney.
Perfect.
And that's where people can go to register and to get more information.
Thank you both so much. Really valuable.